And we are back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you the Super Wimp. What is Super Wimp? Super Wimp is Super Wizards and Blimp. It can be used in conjunction with any army. Today, I'm going to be showing you some Super Wimp Lalo action at Town Halls 11, 12, and 13. And I'm also going to be showing you some Super Wimp hybrid action at Town Hall 13 as well. I'm also going to be showing you in today's video a Town Hall 12 v13 Super Wimp Lalo. So sit back, buckle up, stay tuned, and enjoy the show. Okay, so before we actually get into the attacks, let's go over the Wimp Lalo army and let's talk about it. As you can see up on screen, I have over here, I have the Town Hall 11 over there, I have the Town Hall 12 army up there, and I have the Town Hall 13 army over there. Although the 13 army, you can't see my wall breakers over there, but I do have the same amount of wall breakers. I have less loons at Town Hall 13, but I do have an extra hound at Town Hall 13. So let's talk about the army, the breakdown of the army, what they should be used for, and where you're supposed to use them. So of course we know that right away you're going to be starting off. You're going to be starting off with your Wimp, your Wizards, your Super Wizards, and your Blimp, along with your Rage and your Invisibility spells. That's what you're going to do first. After you do that, you're going to use your heroes, you're going to use your ice golems, you're going to use your freeze spells, and any leftover invisibility spells as well to get your Sui in there and to take care of more of the base and to make pathing for the base, for your Lalo attack. That's what you're looking with stage number 2. Now, if whatever you don't use for your Sui, meaning if you don't use some of your freeze spells or you don't use some of your invisibility spells, then you could use those for your Lalo. So your Lalo, all your leftover spells you're using for Lalo, but you're trying to use as many or as few spells as you can for your Sui portion to try and clear away as much of the base as possible to get your for your main army. So that's pretty much it. Let's actually get into some attacks now. Okay, so now we've broken down how to do it, what to do, and now let's see if I did everything that I just laid out. If I did this on my Town Hall 11 attack, we'll show a Town Hall 11 attack, we'll show a Town Hall 12 attack, then we'll show a Town Hall 13 attack, and then we'll show a Town Hall 13 Wimp hybrid. And I'll show you the difference when I get to the Town Hall 13. We'll talk about the difference between what you're doing with your Sui, with your heroes for Lalo, and what you're doing for your heroes for hybrid. But now let's get into the Town Hall 11. So the priorities of Town Hall 11, just like any other Lalo, your priorities are going to be the Eagle, the CC, the Queen. So being that those are the priorities with Wimp, you want to go towards that. You want to go towards that Eagle. So what I was looking to do was I was looking to get my Blimp somewhere in this area. So no, somewhere in, let's get rid of that, somewhere in this area over here. If I can get it in that area over here, then I knew I'd be able to take out the Eagle, and I knew that with the chain reaction, I'd be getting a lot of good stuff. So coming in that way, I'm looking at the sweepers. The first thing you want to do is you want to look at the sweepers. I know this sweeper is shooting that way, and I know this sweeper is shooting that way. Okay, so the sweepers are not going to be a problem. This is the range of the sweeper that I have to be worried about. So I want to bring this Blimp in just like this, right through there, and have it stop over there and be able, with the chain reaction, to be able to get all of this good stuff over there. So let's hit that play button and watch it in action. In order to do that, I drop a couple of Coco Loons. One of them is going to be, I want the loons to stay there. So the Queen targets those loons, and the ADs target those loons. Now the Rage is down and the invisibility spell is down. Making sure to drop the invisibility spell. I tried to see if I can get that Queen, but my second invisibility spell was not in the best spot. But we did get some good stuff. So now let's pause it here for a second and let's talk about the Sui. So now I always have with my Sui, I'm always going to be starting off with a baby dragon. So I look to see where I could put this baby dragon. I know I could put the baby dragon over there. I'm going to put the ice golem over here. Ice Golem over here, Baby D over there, King over there. I'm going to wall break in that spot over there. I'm going to bring some wizards in over there, and that's going to be able to get my troops inside this base. You need to funnel your Sui into the base. So now let's hit that play button. Watch the Sui going in. Again, Ice Golem's going to go down over there. That's going to get the fire of that. I'm going to have a Coco Loon and the Baby D going down. Baby D is starting to clear some work over there. Get another one coming down. Now, this is something very important as far as wall breaking goes. I got to do a whole video just on wall breaking, but now that we're over here, let's talk about what I needed to do over here and why. I want to get into this wall over here, not this wall over here. In order to do that, I need to make sure that either this goes down or I'm deploying my wall breakers from this spot over here. So this will be the closest wall as opposed to this being the closest wall. So that's just something I need to point out. I wanted to point this out. I need to make a video on wall breaking. People always say to me, Avi, please help me with my wall breaking. So the super wall breaker, I brought the super wall breaker in from this way, so it did take care of that wall. So now my Sui is going through. Always looking at, when you're doing the Sui, always look at which way the sweeper is going to go so you know which way you want your Lalo to go. My Lalo is going to be coming in like that. And now it's just waiting until you get those troops going in and tanking, and then you just collapse on this base, and we'll put this in double speed and move over to the Town Hall 12 now, and then we'll show you both the Town Hall 13s with Wimp Lalo and with Wimp Hybrid. This attack was so OP, and these two defenses down here, I had my screen zoomed all the way in. I didn't even realize I had two more defenses down at the bottom, so I just popped my warden ability. But that's it. As you can see, it's very, very OP when you get something out of your blimp. There's times that you're not going to get something out of your blimp, and then it may be a failure. But for now, let's go over and let's look at another one at Town Hall 12. Okay, for the next one, we're going to look at a Town Hall 12 attack. We're actually going to look at two Town Hall 12 attacks. This is going to be this one, and then after, we're going to show you a 12e13 Lalo attack, a Wimp Lalo attack, and then we'll get into the 13s, and I'll show you the difference between Wimp Lalo at Town Hall 13 and Wimp Hybrid at Town Hall 13. But for now, let's get into this base. Here is the base we're going to hit, and let's take a look at this base and show you what I was trying for, what I ended up getting, and why I ended up getting it. I had a choice of either coming in this way, flying that way into the base, or flying that way into the base. I chose to come in from the 4 o'clock area, from the bottom side, the Town Hall side. And the reason why is because I really wanted to get, if I would get my blimp all the way over here, I could expect to get this over here. But I wasn't sure if the chain reaction would still be able to get the Town Hall down. Whereas if I was coming in this way, I knew I'd be able to get the Town Hall. I knew I'd be able to get the Queen. I'd be able to get some of these expos over there. So I came in from the bottom side. But what that meant was, since I was coming in from the bottom side, I was not going to get the best pathing. So with my heroes, I had to come in from the top side then, and then get the Eagle, and then make some better pathing. So let's hit the play button, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I was coming in from the top, so I dropped a couple of loons over there, soak up some Coco loons, drop it down with the rage, with the invisibility, trying very carefully. I want to get that Town Hall, so I don't want to get that invisibility spell into the Town Hall. Now trying to watch my wizards to seeing what they're going to do. Now, to seeing if I can get some extra hits off, if I can try to anticipate where they're going so I can drop the invisibility spells, to give them the most action. So now I had to figure out where I was coming from. So let's look at this base. I could have come in like this on this base, but I still had my Sui heroes, and there wasn't really a good place to use my Sui heroes down over here. So I came in with my Sui heroes through that section like that, and then I was going to Lalo like this, and then finish off that way and going with the sweeper. So let's hit that play button and watch what we did. My Queen did not go in. Got my Queen in, got my King inside. He took care of some stuff over there. Cleared a bunch of that stuff. But get that king inside. I am not using super wall breakers on my 12s. Really, what I'm doing with my super troops is, if I'm having, what do you call it, if I have dark elixir that I could just spare, you know, that I don't need anymore, that I'm not using it for my heroes, that I'm not upgrading heroes, then I buy super troops. If not, then I try to use it for my heroes, unless I'm starting to load up because I haven't gotten a hero book in a while, and then I will purchase these super troops. But as you can see here, the king is taking care of a bunch of things in there. He did not get that AD, which I was trying to get him to take care of. But not really a big deal. I send in my Lalo. I have my Lalo going in this way from the bottom, and then I'll have another hound going in this way, and then they'll all converge coming down through this way like that onto the last one. So that's it. Let's hit that double speed, and then let's look at the Town Hall 12v13. Yes, it did have some, it did have some weaker walls, but when you're doing Lalo, walls really, really don't make all that much of a difference. So I thought it was a pretty good attack. I got some really nice action out of my Wimp. And again, that's one thing you always want to look for. Where can you get the most action from your Wimp? And if you get a big Wimp action, then it's going to be very, very strong, and you will most likely get the triples, even if you don't do such a nice Lalo or you don't do such a nice hybrid, whatever you're using with your troops. But if you could do a nice Sui and a nice Wimp, more than likely you are going to triple. Let's go into the next one. Okay, so here we are on the 12v13. Yes, the walls are weaker, but it did have scatter shots. It did have a level 5 Giga, so I thought it was a pretty good attack to show. So let's talk about what I was doing on this attack. I saw on this attack that I had scatter shot, multi, town hall, queen, all basically in this one section over here. I knew that if I send my blimp in there, even if I don't get all that stuff, I would be able to send my Sui in that area as well to finish off to get all that good stuff. So I decided to send my blimp in from this way like this. I had to be very careful with my invisibility spells to drop them, to give the troops, because I knew the wizards were going to start walking around, so I had to really keep an eye on those wizards and just predict where they're going and trying to drop the invisibility spells to get the most usage. So let's hit that play button and let's watch the attack. We'll talk about the attack as it's going on. There's the Coco Loons. It's absorbing two archer towers and got inside. Once you see that blimp's not getting any further, drop that invisibility spell, drop that rage spell. Now, I started out dropping the rage spell in advance, just like everybody else is doing. As you can see over here, I knew it was going the other way. I wanted to get that last scatter shot, so I did drop that freeze on it, just trying. Over here, I dropped the ice golem in over here, and then I could drop that baby D over there to get those troops going inside this base. That's where I wanted to drop them in. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was just talking about. Typical. Forgot what I was saying. So, okay, so let's get back into this attack. I get these troops over. So as you can see, on the previous one, I had to make pathing with my troops. On this one over here, I took out so much of the space. I took out a section of the space. So basically, I had an L-shaped section left. So it was very, very easy Lalo through this space. Just moving it through. Let's hit the double speed on this Lalo and get it through there. And then let's talk about Town Hall 13, and the difference between what I'm finding the differences between using a Wimp Lalo and using a Wimp hybrid. Let's quadruple speed it. Queen, king, come through on the back end, taking all that stuff on the back end, have some queens coming through, finish this base off, and now let's go into the next one. Okay, so here we are on the 13v13 Wimp Lalo. So what I did on this one was I already filled in the sweepers, which way they're pointed. So if you look at the sweepers, I knew that I wanted to get my blimp in like this, because this right here, right over here, is the edge of that sweeper. So I knew if I can get it into that compartment over there, look at all of the chain reaction that I'd be able to take out over here. So I knew that was a very good spot to get in. So that's where my goal was. I should have zoomed in on that so you could see it. Let's hit the play button, get that blimp in there, watch the blimp action, then we'll watch the Sui action, and then we will watch the Lalo, and then we'll move over to the Wimp hybrid. So there is the Coco, there is the blimp going in. Again, I didn't really care. I just knew it was going to get into that section. I wanted to make sure that my blimp was going to not cover up that what do you call it, that scatter shot. But one thing which works out very well is that even if the scatter shot in that particular instance, the scatter shot was actually covered, but because the town hall was not covered, the chain reaction of the wizard's firepower is still able to take out that scatter shot. So now we got the Sui portion going in. I got the king and queen going in with the ice golems taking for this king and queen. And as you can look, I mean, I cut out a big portion of this base. And what you want to look for when you're doing a Lalo is you want to try and always cut out a section of this base. So if you look what I'm going to cut out, I'm going to leave an L-shaped pattern to this base. Let me draw that. Once my heroes get finished, I'm creating an L-shaped pattern. Look at this L shape. That's what you want to look for. If you can make an L-shaped pattern, the Lalo is going to be much, much easier. And that's what we said. You always want to try and work on making pathing and getting the important things. There is my Ice Hound going in. Poison's already down. I thought the queen would take out that Royal Champ, but it wasn't. So we got the Royal Champ though. She's firing at the Ice Hound. I got another Ice Hound coming in. She is now frozen. I got the scatter shot went down to the loons. The scatter shot was also the Ice Hound was thinking for the scatter shot. And at this point, it's just really just manipulating through this base, getting them through this base, and just finishing it off. 1, 2, 3, no big deal. The Royal Champ did last to the end, but I did have my Queen. Queen still had a swag ability on the stack. That is it. Let's move over now to the 13 Wimp Hybrid, and I'll show you what I'm doing over there and what the difference is between doing Wimp Hybrid and Wimp Lalo at Town Hall 13. There's the trip. There is that army comp, and now let's look at some Wimp Hybrid. Okay, so before we actually get into the attacks, let's break down the hybrid Wimp army, and let's talk about what each of the different things here, what their jobs are. Well, first of all, we know already that you're going to end up using these 4 plus your CC. You're going to use those on your initial Wimp. Okay, so those are gone. But then you got the next thing. Now here's where it differs, Wimp Hybrid and Wimp Lalo. On Wimp Hybrid, you're then using, after you take care of the Wimp part, you're then going to start with your Sui. And you're going to bring your Sui in, and your Sui is going to work on getting some pathing. But the pathing that's required for the hybrid is different from the pathing that's required for the Sui. You want to keep those troops, you want to keep your hybrid army together as much as possible. So being that what you're doing is you're trying to do a sandwich, just like you do on regular hybrid. On regular hybrid, you have your queen walk on one side, and you have your siege barracks on the other side, and your hybrid is sandwiched in between, in the middle of both of them. Over here, what you're doing is you're splitting up your heroes. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a P.E.K.K.A. going with the queen, and then you're going to have a king with some wizards on the other side. And this way, what you're going to do is the king and the wizards, the king is going to be tanking for the defenses, and the wizards will be shooting over the wall. And the same thing on the other side, you're going to have the P.E.K.K.A. that's going to be tanking for the defenses on the side, and the queen is going to be shooting over the wall. And then you have your hybrid going down through the middle, and then usually your heroes will end up dying out. Usually what I'm noticing is happening is that the king is lasting until the end of the raid. So let's get into this raid right now, and I'll actually show you two of the Wimp Hybrid, so you can really get a good eye and see what the difference is between the Wimp Hybrid and the Wimp Lalo. Let's get into it. Okay, so actually before we get into the attack, we just got to talk about, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows this already, but we got to talk about it anyway, what the priorities are when you're doing a Wimp Hybrid. Well, the priorities of doing Wimp Hybrid is the same thing, the same way the priorities for Wimp Lalo is the same priorities as Queen Charge Lalo, so too the priorities for Wimp Hybrid is the same priorities for Queen Charge Hybrid. And what are those priorities? Well, the priorities are the CC, the Eagle, scatter shots, any splash damage. Any splash damage that you could take out on your entry is definitely going to help your hybrid. But again, whatever you don't take out with your hybrid, whatever you're not taking out with your Wimp, you know that you're going to have to take out with your hybrid / heroes. So let's talk about what I did on this base and why. I had two choices. Either I can come like this and take the Town Hall, and that's what I would have done if I was doing a Lalo. I would have taken the Town Hall and the Queen, or I could have come from the bottom. Now, I did come from the bottom. Now, why did I come from the bottom? We just said if I was doing a Wimp Lalo, I would have come from the top. So why, because I'm doing Wimp Hybrid, am I coming from the bottom? Well, the answer is because the priorities are different for Lalo and for Hybrid. The Hybrid, it's not a big deal. You can take down the Hybrid. Your miners can take down a Town Hall. Your miners can take down heroes without a problem. Whereas your Lalo cannot take down the heroes and has a harder time dealing with the Town Hall than the Lalo does. So what do you need to take down? You need to take down the Eagle. You want to take out, you want to get the lure the CC. You want to see if you could take down the scatter shots. So I wanted to come in from the bottom. Coming in from the bottom was really not that difficult because both the sweepers were facing up top. So let's hit that play button and watch how I came in and what I was going to do over here. Now, this does have a long channel, so I knew that I would be able to, I knew that I had to keep an eye on those wizards to be able to try and get as much of this good stuff as I could possibly get. Let's watch it in double speed. There is the Wimp going in. There is the Rage. There's the invisibility spells. Taking out some expos. I did not get all those scatter shots. I did lure the CC. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my King over here, King up top with the wizards. I'm going to use the P.E.K.K.A. and the Queen over here and try and make this funneling so I can get my hybrid going down through the space. That's what the plan is. Queen now has to deal with the CC. The hybrid is actually, if you notice, the funneling is exactly what I wanted. The funneling is going inside the space, and then they're going to come around through this base, and that's what you want to do. You want to try and keep those troops together as much as possible. If you notice the King on the outside of this base, he's keeping the troops on the inside, and then, you know, the funneling, the initial funneling itself from the Queen kept those troops moving through this base, and that's pretty much what you want to do. Let's look at one more example, and then we'll close this video down. Oh my goodness gracious. I am loving this hybrid. It is, I mean, this Wimp, it's a lot of fun. It's difficult. It really is difficult when you're first doing it. And again, it makes it much easier if you do have lower Town Halls to work on it at the 11, at the 12, before going over to the 13s. But I'll talk about that in another video. Right now, let's get into the last replay of this video. Okay, here we are on the last base, the last attack that we're going to be showing on this video. Again, if this was a Wimp Lalo, I would have probably come in with my Wimp. I don't know. Maybe I would have done the same thing. I would have come in with I would have done something different with my Sui. What I'm doing with my Wimp over here is I'm going to come in over here. I see all of this juicy stuff that I want to take out with for my hybrid. So that's what I'm going for over there. What I'm planning on doing after that is I'm going to be using one hero over here, one hero over here, and I'm going to hybrid the middle straight like that. So let's hit that play button, zoom in, and watch it in action. Again, what you want to do with your Wimp on your hybrid and what your Wimp on your Louis on your Sui are two different things. For your Wimp Lalo, you're most likely going to be taking out the Town Hall. For your Wimp hybrid, most likely you're going to be taking out scatter shots. You're going to be taking out the illegal. Again, I'm watching these wizards go through, and I'm luring them around as they're going through so they can try and take out as much of this stuff as possible. Whatever they're not getting, I'm trying to use the next invisibility spell to get them to be able to take out some of those defenses. So now the king is over here. I dropped an ice golem over here. Wizard's down over here. Gonna drop the queen over there with the P.E.K.K.A. Oh no, I have an ice golem. I switched over. I just switched over. I got rid of my 2 ice golems and I changed that to a P.E.K.K.A. instead. But that's it over there. But as you can see, I'm using these troops to thin out the pathing so my hybrid can get into this base and get directly down into that town hall and down to the back of this base. And that's pretty much all it is. Once you get that pathing down, again, your heroes, whatever they can take out, they take out. But then it's just a matter of using those troops and just using your freeze spells, your heal spells, and your warden ability. You do have a lot of stuff. You have 2 heal spells, you have 2 freeze spells, plus a warden ability. It's planning to get through the base. As you can see over here, I used a double heal spell. There's the warden ability to get them through, and then I knew that my royal champ was going to be over there dealing with that town hall. I got the heal down for the back end. Royal Champ finishes off that town hall and then moves on and helps out with the hybrid. Again, as you can see, the king is moving around, keeping that hybrid on the inside of his base, on those defenses. And that's pretty much it. That is the video. I hope that you enjoyed the video. This is all the progress that I've done, everything that I've learned so far with using the WIMP. If there's any questions that you have, please leave comments down below and I'll try to address them as soon as possible. If there's anything that you want to see in particular for any town hall, again, leave it down below and I will do my best to get those out there as soon as possible. But that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the sub button. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. And that's going to be it. Until the next video, have a super great day.